West, but Nigeria has a spiritual problem. As if that was not enough insult on Nigerians, the Sultan of Sokoto has taken the narrative to a whole new level. He not only blamed Nigerians for the problems, he said that they must repent in order to survive the hardship that is gripping everyone in Nigeria right now. The Sultan said this in a grand opening of a new mosque in Guzape, Abuja. He said, quote, "Everyone knows the situation in Nigeria right now, but the solution is to go back to seek divine intervention and prayers. However, we should not supplicate for eye service, but for genuine supplication, because the Lord has said that after hardship, there is relief." Unquote. Imagine blaming Nigerians for the incompetence of politicians, saying that they must repent in order to enjoy the good things of life. This can't be real. Why is it that it's only in Nigeria and Africa that religious leaders make excuses for politicians? Don't they see how other countries look like? Muslim majority countries, Christian majority countries, all of them are doing far better. It is not hard to do the right thing, and the worst part of the whole thing is that after doing the wrong things, they turn around to blame poor Nigerians for being responsible for all the misdeeds caused by politicians. This can never be real. If ever you never believed in conspiracy, this one is no longer conspiracy. There is a grand plan by the elites in Nigeria to hold the people down. All this energy they spend in trying to spin the narrative, why don't they spend it in trying to do the right things, actually turning the lives of the people around? And the few religious leaders that criticize the government are hounded and arrested, just like the DSS just arrested one Sheikh Sharif in Kaduna. He said, quote, "Tinubu and Buhari are like Pharaoh and Haman. There is no difference between them. If not for Tinubu's lack of respect and dignity for Nigerians, how can you announce the removal of subsidy in your inaugural speech?" After announcing the removal on the inauguration stage, the petrol price jumped from around 200 naira to a liter to over 600 naira before the president left the venue. And people just laughed it off as though nothing happened. What kind of people are we? Ideally, he should have consulted his economic team before making such a hasty decision. Even the military, which rules by decree, don't make that kind of pronouncement. Unquote. This earned the Sheikh an invitation. In fact, they came to arrest him, but he was not found. They now dropped a note, a number that he should call. He called the number and he was invited. He went there, and after a few hours of questioning, he was let go. The same misplaced priorities. Imagine the time, the energy they spent in questioning this man and going for his arrest. If they spend that time on actually fighting insecurity that is contributing to the food inflation, many people can't go back to their farms because of insecurity. Why is it not possible for them to stop it permanently? It's a pity that religious leaders that are supposed to give direction to politicians and criticize them when they go wrong are now in bed with the same politicians. They all together oppress poor Nigerians. Nigerians were living the good life, at least to their own level a few years ago, till certain people came to power and everything went downhill. Today, people in far north are using donkeys and horses for transport because petrol has become unaffordable for many in the northern part of the country. Today, the most staple food in Nigeria has become unaffordable for many, especially in the north. Who caused all this? Politicians caused them. It's not the fault of Nigerians that a bag of rice that used to cost about 10,000 naira a few years ago now costs up to 80,000 naira. It's not the fault of Nigerians. So let religious leaders tell politicians the truth. They should remind them the main objective of government. The main objective is to better the life of the people. If the people keep suffering, there is no hope that things will get better. Then the government is of no use to them. Look at Saudi Arabia. They've modernized to the level that they are telling imams around the kingdom that they must reduce the volume of their loudspeakers when they call for prayers. Can that happen in Nigeria? No. Religion is used to manipulate the people in Nigeria and Africa at large. But one day, people will wake up and say, no, we've been praying for years and nothing has changed. In fact, it keeps getting worse. That means either the prayer doesn't work or it's not what a prayer will solve. Every illness has a medication or treatment. If you don't apply the right treatment, the illness may never go away. So the people must wake up one day and realize that they must take their destinies in their hands, that they will no longer listen to any imam or any pastor or any elite or any House of Reps member, any politician, any governor, whoever, that they must decide their fate by themselves. From that day, things will start getting better in Nigeria. All the elites that are conspiring against poor Nigerians will no longer have a voice. They will lose all their influence over poor people. Unless that day comes, Nigerians will never be free. Thanks for watching.